5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the TTV BrickFeed Podcast. I'm Jonathan Juan.
I'm Var.
I'm Prpl.
I'm EXX Trooper.
And this is the BrickFeed Podcast, episode 80. 80.
Woo.
Yay.
Is that some kind of milestone of some sort?
I
It's
guess.
just a nice number.
I think the 100 is the first one, but like 80
It's a nice
does...
even number. Actually, I would say 50 is your first milestone.
I don't know, like 80 just... Because it's not... It isn't a milestone. It's not a normal milestone, but it sounds kind of milestone-y to me.
You're almost there. That's
it just
what
looks
is.
very clean, because it's like all circles, you know?
Hope you guys all enjoyed your Thanksgiving, because we didn't have an episode last week because of Thanksgiving.
I didn't do Thanksgiving, but I was busy eating.
Well, as you know, Thanksgiving is a real big holiday over there in Norway, so...
It is not. We don't
Norwegian
celebrate
Thanksgiving
at all.
They give thanks that all the Asgardians left them.
I still don't understand what you guys do at Thanksgiving except for like eating. It's really weird. I
that is literally it. It's literally a big feast. That's all it is. You just visit family and you eat.
How American is that there is a holiday just for eating?
I'm gonna recap for you really quick what the story behind Thanksgiving is. Okay.
All right.
The Pilgrims come over. They go from their not England.
They slaughter all the Indians.
Before that, here's what happens. They have traveled for months. They've sailed for months, and they land here in America for the first time in Jamestown. And they get off, and they don't know if anyone's here or not. They don't know if like people are around. And then they see an indigenous guy, like one of the Native Americans. He comes down to them and in English asks, "Hey, you guys got any beer?" And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "You guys got any beer?" Turns out that like he was a slave over in like Europe and he came back and everything. But like that's the whole thing that like that's how they start the relationship is because he speaks English even though no one should speak English. And he's like, "Hey, what do you guys bring over?"
Did you just make that
up?
Fun
fact, they also did not have any beer. No,
I feel like I've never heard that before.
I don't know.
Because in school they're not going to tell you that's the origin of the thing. By the way,
I
did misspeak. He asked for milk. He asked if they had any milk, not beer.
This is just one big prank, dude. This is just...
I mean, they had to because it's like it was fermented and like all the other stuff would spoil. But like anything of alcohol does not spoil over long distances. A lot of people in historic times drank alcohol because it was just cleaner and it didn't have germs and disinfect. Because we didn't have like all the stuff we have now to make sure there's no germs in our water. No, yeah, it's an actual historic fact. Look it up or correct me down in the comments below or send all the hates and dislikes to our videos, which will. Probably happen anyways.
Well, they can't do that now. Thank you guys for joining the BrickFeed Podcast, where we talk about history and the founding of America. Next week, we're going to be talking about the Soviet Union.
Oh my!
Do you think that Lego would ever do like historical a Lego series based on like historical events?
No,
you think they'd ever do that?
That would be an awful idea.
I think human history is so brutal that
dude,
there's just so much
awful.
they had to exclude. Like the entirety of like human history is just bloodshed, That's
I'm trying to think of like what's the worst ancient history set for Lego to do,
You could literally point. I mean, there was that Lego Auschwitz that was in our top 10 controversies.
That was
Can we talk about happy stuff? Do we have views today? Do we have
almost
things?
Like literally every event in history has some kind of ridiculously brutal, awful thing that has happened before it. It's terrible.
Could there be an event? Like, could there be a thing in history that would just be like a nice
People
little
are
Lego
posting
set?
brutal historical events in the chat.
Oh man.
Oh my.
Oh boy. I'm afraid to even read some of these out loud.
Oh dear.
Let's.
They did do the Women of NASA, which is like celebrating people.
Is
in
that
history.
really
It's
a
like
historical?
there are good things that have happened in history. It's just hard to think of them. The moon landing.
Building the pyramids. Let's get all those slaves to build those pyramids.
Oh my.
It's perfectly fine.
Well, the big thing too is that like a lot of stuff I feel like they would, if Lego like did a historical thing, they would do something now and then it would turn out that years later, that person was actually terrible. Like right now we're doing that with Christopher Columbus, you know, where everyone's like, yeah, Columbus Day, and people have been okay with Columbus Day for a while, and then slowly people have been like, oh, by the way, he did some really shady stuff, you know, and really like he was kind of a terrible guy, and we're like, but what are we going to rename the holiday? What are we going to do? Like, we're already stuck in it. I feel like Lego would do like Thomas Edison or something, you know, the Lego Thomas Edison, and people would be like, but Nikola Tesla though, and then it would just be this whole thing.
Surely Lego would focus more on, you know, like Danish history, right?
There you go.
Sure. What's an important event in Danish history?
I don't know.
They made Lego.
I mean,
the invention of the pastries?
I think they had Norway.
I feel like that's pretty rude. I feel like there's some Lego people listening to this now who are just like, excuse me, we have the founding of the Danish pastry of 1812. Thank you very much.
Oh man, no, you're close. 1840 by Viennese chefs. The world famous sticky delights are called Vienna bread or Wienerbrod.
Are you making stuff up? I can't tell.
This is, listen, I'm gonna screenshot this for you. This is actually from Google.
I can't wait to eat a Danish pastry made of wiener bread. This sounds delicious.
It's, I mean, maybe Wienerbrod? I don't know. X, help me out here. What is that? How do you say that?
Which one?
Vienna bread, or...
Where are you saying this?
As an American would say, Wienerbrod.
It looks like it says
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese almost.
Okay, I think it's the other way around. We would say Vienna bread.
I know. I'm
just
saying like
Wiener
pronunciation.
Like it sounds very similar, dude. Like
I don't know. This is a good a Lego podcast where we're talking about Lego.
Yeah,
we're talking about
really
Danish history.
Known for pastry of all things?
Yeah,
that's what I think of.
Is that what you guys see
in America?
Honestly, that's all I ever think of when it comes to like European
I think
countries.
of Lego and
I think of food, but
I honestly don't even think of Lego. I'll be honest, I don't even think of Lego sometimes.
I only think of Lego. I also think of like these Danish exchange students who were at my high school the other day. All my friends thought they were really hot, but they really weren't.
Well, I mean, that's what I think of too. It's like the Danish exchange students are known for being really, really hot and very blonde.
They were so blonde. Oh my god! It was
Everyone
like
is blonde.
Wait, were they blonde?
Yeah.
Were they blonde Prpl? Hold up. Tell me more about these.
Everyone in Sweden and Norway and Denmark are blonde because those are the women that the Vikings brought from England and from all the villages that they raided, and they kept those, and they would systematically kill women that did not fit that criteria. It was manual Darwinism.
The Vikings brought over wood, stone, and women.
Literally, that is
our greatest export.
100% the reason why there are so many blonde women in Denmark, Sweden, and Norway.
100%.
Oh boy!
Back to history being screwed up.
And we did not have a holiday after that because that's weird and you know.
But did you have a holiday at some point?
Didn't have a Thanksgiving for all the women.
Just a holiday where they celebrate blonde women.
Are we going to talk about Lego at all?
No, when they celebrate being empowered, you know? Like, hey,
yeah, we were empowered because we were the prize. We should. This is really.
We should stop.
Yeah, this should not escalate any further.
Red light.
You should stop.
Let's run this back in.
So Lego, huh? Bricks, plastic. Do you guys like that stuff? Yeah.
Yes.
I like the plastic.
You
from
like
time to time.
putting it together.
I dabble.
Pulling it apart. Making things, yeah, Lego.
X, I've got an idea.
Do you have a Lego idea that is not a licensed set?
I wish.
Me
that
too.
That'd be pretty cool, huh?
But
I'd like to
shoot
see that
me with
sometime.
that idea. Shoot it right in my face.
Well, the idea is that we actually do talk about the Lego ideas, as it's the first thing on our news docket for the week of November 30th,
John,
2017.
with the segment thing transition, yeah.
Segue. That's what they
segue.
They like to
all
call
right, we did it. Yeah, all right.
Segment transition.
What's happening?
Transition. So here's what's going on. And again, Lego Ideas. It's a great platform. It's great to see what people want to see coming out of the thing. The issue is, what do people really want to see from Lego? It's just their favorite thing in Lego. And the thing that got past this review was the Tron Legacy light cycle.
Yes.
Are you really happy about this?
Are you really happy?
Are you genuinely
happy? I'm kind of indifferent. I really like Tron Legacy.
I'm kind of indigenous.
The aesthetic. Wow.
Kind of indigenous. All right. We got out of it, Var. Don't pull us back in. So when the Pilgrims landed, the Native American came in and said, I'm kind of indigenous. All right, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was like really into Tron Legacy in like 8th and 9th grade. Because I loved the way everything looked. Everything was so neon, and I loved the soundtrack and all that. 8th and 9th grade
was not your childhood. That was...
Yeah, well, I was a kid at the time, so
you're 13 to 14, X.
Really? Are people that young in 18? And like 8?
I was like, I'm like a year younger than everyone in my grade.
Yeah,
so I was
I was that young when I was in 18th grade too.
Is it childhood like up to like 10 or something? I don't know.
I mean, I would say your childhood is up to your 18.
Yeah, your childhood is up until you're an adult.
Yeah, like once, I mean,
Breaking Bad
we were like 40 years old,
man. You know,
if we're 40 years old and we talk about stuff like that, would be part of our childhood is going to high school. I would say, right?
Yeah, really.
I genuinely don't know what the future
it's
holds,
like,
but yeah,
people don't really say teenhood; they just say childhood when they refer to everything.
Yeah, because like everyone wants to forget about their teen years. I liked Tron the movie a lot, Or no, I didn't like the movie. I liked the concept a lot. I did not like that movie as much. I felt like they could have done more like cool world building stuff. We didn't really do it. And it could have been better fight scenes because the whole thing of like the frisbee that like returns back to you is super awesome and really cool. And I feel like they didn't do a lot with it. Jeff Bridges looked weird.
I want to rewatch Tron. I don't remember a whole lot about it, to be honest.
I remember having a big crush on Olivia Wilde after that.
It's because she has the straight black hair, dude.
That's about all I remember.
When actresses get that straight black hair, yikes.
What was the main? What did the main guy look like?
I was thinking more.
You know, it's really cool.
The main dude is a generic. He was just a generic dude. When you think of like the main character,
the Big Lebowski, in a movie, you know. But you should.
No, I think of Jeff Bridges, who was like the dad.
Yeah,
the dad was like a cool actor. Jeff Bridges.
Role, like, no,
but the young kid. Who's the kid? What's his kid's name? I forget.
Like it was Jake.
And yeah, it is. It is interesting that this is the Tron Legacy light cycle and not just something based off Tron. I don't know why they specified Legacy exactly.
Because it's the Legacy one.
Well, because is that Tron riding that bike? I don't
Sam
think it
Flynn,
is, right?
That was it. No, was it?
Man, what a terrible name.
That sounds right. Sam Flynn.
No, that was like the dad's name. Was that also his name?
No,
Sam Flynn Jr.?
Kevin was the dad.
No.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it's Sam Flynn.
Cool.
I really like his jacket.
Really?
Yep. All right. Great. That's your trivia. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not a little disappointed. I'm actually very disappointed at one big thing that I wanted to pass in this review, and I don't know if I guess for whatever reason it didn't. I got past that for the Tron cycle, but the quest builder was the thing I was rooting for. Personally speaking. The quest builder was a really unique idea, and I would have loved to play it all of you guys, you know, if we got everyone together again and we did some cool stuff. That would have been a great, let's play thing to do. And instead, we're getting Tron, so that's great.
You know what? I would want these guys behind LEGO Ideas to tell us, the exact criteria behind why this was not made in... why this idea was not chosen, because I'm really curious about that quest builder. If it was
Kevin Hinkle gave me a rundown
was quest builder too ambitious for it to be a product?
I mean, he didn't. Obviously, I don't know because he hasn't given me any information about this review. He just gave me the. I don't know if they can even give us information as to why things go through or don't go through. But basically the premise is that there are a lot of the different markets come together and they all get a vote essentially, and they're passed all these ideas and presented to them. They all get a vote as to which one they feel should pass the review. And the one I believe is the one of the most votes. Although there have been times where the entirety of the slate was not approved. Everything was not approved.
Oh man!
And they judge different things too, like social media engagement and different things. The quest builder, it's one of those things that might have been hard to sell from a conceptual standpoint. We were just looking at a couple of images, you're like, okay, kind of. But if you haven't played Dungeons and Dragons, you don't kind of understand how fun it could be for a lot of people. Or maybe they didn't want to infringe on Dungeons & Dragons license, or maybe, I don't know what they're getting into. But, like, there's a whole bunch of reasons why they didn't do it. I'm just disappointed.
I mean, I was, like, my initial reaction was incredibly negative, as always, but, like, I'm trying to be just a lot more positive on this. I mean, I guess it's, like, the thing with Prpl's perspective, in that, like, if you did want Tron, and Tron has a very smooth and cool aesthetic to him, and I've seen a lot of, like, there's been a lot of, like, bootleg things doing Tron stuff, and now there's, like, an official, actual Tron set coming out that people will be able to get. But I just feel like it's more of like a glorified statue or something, because people are going to buy this to have like on their shelf. And like with the other things that we're seeing here, the quest builder obviously disappointing, but like you said, there's lots of issues with it. But for example, those Sega classic arcade machines, like think about getting like a huge Lego arcade, for example. That's something that we've not had before. Awesome. That would be really cool. But of course, but that's a bit weird though to think. So Lego ideas, basically you make an idea that a lot of people already like, that's already established as something people like, and then it will further go to a small group of people that you also need to like show basically something that's, so it just sounds to me that Lego ideas is just come up with something that Lego's not already done.
Specific audience.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird,
right.
But
well, I mean, I don't want to again misrepresent the process. Well, I'm kind of vague about it because you go into a bit more detail, but I don't know.
My interpretation.
One, I don't know how much of it I was like I'm actually supposed to like say or anything. And additionally, I don't want to like misrepresent the process that actually goes behind it as one thing or another.
Lego
right?
Ideas this process. This is purely speculation.
100% the official thing. Well, it's part of it is was informed. I'm keeping it decently vague so that you kind of get the gist of it. I feel like I'm looking at a lot of these others. Some of these are licensed, right? Like. I understand that with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or with NBC's offers or even like with the Sega arcade machines, like some of those might have been a licensing issue. They're not able to get that across. And Sega has Sonic and Sonic's Dimensions and yada, yada, yada. But like, I can see why licensed stuff doesn't go through. There's an additional reason why. The Quest Builder is, I don't know, man. I really thought the Quest Builder was an ingenious idea. And I would have loved to see it like taken to fruition. It would have been great to get like this could become like the successor to like a fantasy theme, because ever since like with Next to Nights has been really great and fun, but some people have wanted a more classical castle type theme to come back that didn't draw so much in like the technological elements and all the stuff that Next to Nights has.
Mate,
Tron's okay.
Before we just head on to some of it, what do you think, Var, about like some of these ideas that didn't go through? What do you think? You just think everything here, nothing here deserved?
I mean, like I'm sure there are some things that deserved attention, but I don't know. If it didn't go through, I don't really have too much to say about it.
Because it's like it's not.
I think the Tron cycle is just kind of a poor, I guess, representation of ideas to me. It's sort of just like a very easy one that they could have done regardless of ideas or not. So I don't think it's a great choice, but at the same time, I don't really know. Like, I wasn't really like big on any of the other options to have much of an opinion. So
I see. So the conclusion is that Quest Builder.
Yeah, like the Quest Builder is neat. I just it's not something that I would have bought, so I'm not really too
What exactly is the Quest Builder anyway? Like, is it just literally like Lego Dungeons and Dragons, or?
So yeah, it was like a kind of a board game moment.
Kind of, yeah. You would be able to build like a game board essentially, and then you would play on it.
That's kind of neat.
So it was a cool idea. I'm not sure how they would be able to really do it execution wise, and it, like I said, it's not something that truly interests me. So
they had to, maybe they were worried about creating the rule book, and they all the stuff that would go into designing the game was too much to make it worthwhile. I don't know, but that's fair. I'm looking at the next review wave that's gonna come as well. The second review for 2017, or I guess it's the second 2017 Lego review.
Yay, more
None
spaceships.
of these sets really appeal to me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the space stuff.
Why is there Star Wars set in here?
I don't know how
what are
that
you
got
guys
passed
doing?
And stuff. Aren't they supposed to be like?
We
isn't that like
already
not
have
supposed to be a thing?
Star Wars. We have everything in Star Wars made like at least 4 times.
Yeah, but we've never had the "I am your father" scene.
We genuinely actually have. It was in the Cloud City set that we got.
But X,
no,
this one's more specialized. It has more details on the piping that Luke is grabbing onto. We need it.
Me.
Of these, the only one I really care about is Gilmore Girls. We talked about this one before on the episode that John like dropped out of that one time when it was just me, Vin, and Mange. And
yeah, I remember that.
All of these are cool. Like I really do like the Saturn V launch umbilical tower. I think that's a really cool idea, but it does kind of require you to have the Saturn V already for that to be, you know, of any interest or value to you. And it's kind of like an accessory thing, but I think that'd be really cool to add on to it. At the same time, you could also just mock that. You know, you don't really need that to be a set. So,
if it was like the NASA building with the space, the launch tower attached to it,
yeah,
or like some segment where it's like, all right, this is a set that stands on its own, and as a bonus, you can add the Saturn V to it.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. Just a tower is like, all right, the tower is, no one is just going to buy the tower without having the Saturn V. So you're limiting the amount of sales that's going to go to it. Yeah, it's really dumb.
And I like the NASA space shuttle a lot too. I think that's a really cool thing. But at the same time, we did just get
we got it. Yeah, we just got the Saturn V.
We just got the Saturn V. So it's like, it's kind of treading the same ground. You know, it's nothing new that we haven't gotten. Same can be said for the Gilmore Girls Diner, but I think that's a really cool set that I think a lot of people could enjoy regardless of whether you're a fan of the show or not. So I think that's,
I don't even
there's a
know
lot of
what
detail
it
in
is,
there.
but I just like set pieces like that.
You guys don't watch Gilmore Girls?
No.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm not gonna lie. I really love Gilmore Girls.
My girlfriend really likes it. I know it's just another series, man.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna like defend it to the death. I know, but I do like it.
But like,
it's smarter than I thought it would be.
It's more
entertaining.
It just feels like more of those sets with like the Big Bang Theory set. It's just
I mean, that's exactly what this would go along with. The Big Bang Theory set.
The difference is that like Big Bang Theory,
should they make like every single like recognizable sitcom TV series thing? I don't know.
Well, Gilmore Girls isn't on the air anymore. They had a revival on Netflix that came by, but it's been off the air for quite a while. As opposed to Big Bang Theory, which is not only an ongoing, very, very popular comedy show, but it actually involves people that would talk about the Lego set or talk about Lego on their show. And, you know, the overlap between fans of Big Bang Theory and Lego fans are probably a lot bigger than Gilmore Girls fans and Lego fans, you know? So, I might be the only overlap.
Think about,
I guess 10,000 people.
Think about a Lego Riverdale diner. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, yes! That'd be
pretty
cool.
awesome, right?
You know,
that would be pretty awesome, dude. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, but Riverdale's ongoing, so that makes sense. You know, it's an ongoing show.
Yeah, but the
I was
overlap
going in
isn't
here
quite there.
trying to be positive, but then you guys mentioned Riverdale, and
that'd be cool.
It's terrible.
You don't like Riverdale?
It's not that bad. Get over it,
dude.
It's
not terrible.
And I was just like, this is stupid.
It's like
this
a CW
is so
show.
Stupid.
If you don't like Riverdale, you wouldn't like any of the other CW shows. The Wonders of Peru we talked about on the aforementioned podcast that I had to host. It's a cool gift idea, I think, if your mom is from Peru or something.
Yeah, your mom's
that is where the origin of that mom joke came from, by the way, in case anyone's confused. We were saying this would be a good gift.
Okay.
Other than that, though, it's kind of a meh thing. Like this appeals to a very small subset of people, you know, that are going to be, but it's not like a universally enjoyable set, I think, for a lot of people. So
I wouldn't mind a set that's like, I don't know, like Lego sets are based around different. They do architecture, but like if they just had sets that are like based around Peru, and then one based around, you know, structures and, you know, Indonesia, or just, you know, like that kind of thing, I think that'd actually be kind of interesting. Not in the box. I feel the box is too many parts that really don't, like, especially with the Peru on the side. I don't know. It would just add to the piece count, and I feel like you'd have to do away with that. But the concept
I feel like the box
taking the
is
location,
something you
putting
can
it in a
just
set,
make yourself, like out of cardboard and paint it or something.
Or they could do a creative thing with the Lego box it comes in, and that would be like you build it inside, like a diorama. You build it inside the box.
Yeah,
Ooh.
It's neat.
Kind of makes sense.
That's about it. I don't think any of these Lego idea sets are really anything special or.
I'm curious to see which one they vote up, but
they might not do.
They don't sound very exciting, but I'm still excited to just see which one gets picked.
I think
it is nice that they.
I think it'll be the space shuttle. It's the easy one out of all of these. I think.
I kind of want the Gilmore ones one just because it'd make a great present to some of my friends, but I really doubt that it'll go through.
Yeah, no. Honestly, if the Gilmore Girls one goes through, I have to get it because my family will be forever impressed if with that. Like if we had it, this is like sitting in the house, it'd be like, yeah, this is the diner, and they'd be like, all that stuff.
Neat.
None of these, yeah.
The aircraft also might go through. Yeah, I think either the aircraft or the space shuttle.
What would be cool? Just to have the like one of the SpaceX ships, so we can get that really cool, futuristic SpaceX spacesuit as a minifigure. That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty neat.
All right, well, let's move off the ideas train and into our next topic of discussion. And kind of to preface this entire thing going forward, we know that there have been a lot of things released and being made open to the public. A lot of new sets that are coming out next year have been revealed, and you can find them. However, the mouse is always on the watch, and they have snipers everywhere. And the mouse nearly killed us the last time. We were brought back to life at the nick of time, the day before you were supposed to have our channel deleted, and we are not playing with the mouse again. So you guys,
Disney is very, very restrictive of their copyrights and things releasing early. So
Disney is so scary, dude. I don't know how some of those leakers even survive out there. There's like dude who's leaking Infinity War stuff.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm surprised he's still alive. Yeah, I think he should be dead by now.
He probably is dead. It's just a front. So like Disney like murdered the guy, and now they took over his channel, and they're uploading leaks to catch other leakers.
I do actually think that the reason he's still posting and his account hasn't been shut down is because they're trying to find out who he is. So he's playing a fire every time he does something, man. That's a risky game.
That's so the last time we talked about Disney sets early, we almost died. Like our channel was almost gone. So keep that in mind. We're going to try to avoid talking about some of these non-leaks.
Until we're told that we're able to. It's just not worth it for our channel to be shut down just to talk about some sets sometimes.
Yeah. So
all right. Let's talk about the 60 years of the Lego Brick anniversary set. This was revealed in a calendar for the Lego store for January 2018, and basically it's going to be available with a purchase of $125 or more.
This is so meta. I didn't mean to.
What I'm wondering is like
that was just a small comment, and then everything went quiet.
Yeah, the picture's so tiny.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going on.
There's a castle, the classic Lego castle, which is like the all yellow castle. There is the pirate ship, which is classic. There is, I'm seeing here the space cruiser and the airport shuttle. Both of those I didn't really recognize, to be honest. I feel like the pirate ship to me is the most recognizable of those sets. When I see it, I feel like
what is the far left one? Is that trains?
Stuff,
I can't tell if it's a submarine or a train.
No, it's an airport shuttle. It's an airport shuttle.
Oh.
Yep.
An airport shuttle? On the far... No, the yellow and red on the far left.
Yeah, the yellow one on the far left. That is the airport shuttle. The one in the far right is the space cruiser and moon base.
Okay.
Then we have the castle, and then we have the pirate ship. So there's only one left.
This is very unfortunate because like this is right now I basically like almost buy no sets at all. Like when I do, it's like something very small to like hang on my shelf. But like this is like, ironically enough, this is something that I would very much want just because it's so recognizable, and I just know a lot of people would want that. But it's an extra thing, so like you have to use $125 to get it. So. I'm most likely not going to get it, but like it's very cool because it's just something. There's something in there that anyone inside of LEGO will recognize at some point. They'll recognize the old pirate ship or classic space. I love miniature builds like this. They should do. I think like a lot of these would be really cool. I just imagining like an entire shelf of just very miniature builds of like known LEGO sets, but in like mini versions, that would look really cool. So it's really
cool.
It's one of the cooler things that LEGO has done in terms of extra promotion things, in terms of like buying a lot of stuff from LEGO Shop, and then you get this thing, So
it's only one of the cooler ones. Is it saying that it's a $25 value? Is that what that's?
Yeah, $25 value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, it's definitely cool, but like you said, having to pay $125 just to get it is meh.
Yeah.
Maybe
someone in the live stream audience brought this up. Do you think LEGO would ever do something related to Bionicle in one of these?
No, I don't know. I genuinely don't know if Bionicle had a big enough impact, even though it had like a pretty big one.
It saved them from bankruptcy.
It had a huge impact.
I know,
for whatever reason, LEGO, the company, and the LEGO fan base seems to resent Bionicle as an entity. So I don't know. I don't think they would ever put it on there.
I think it's more about like the public perception about Bionicle.
Well, I feel like everyone at some level is salty. Some people are salty it ever got made. Some people are salty that it got canceled. Some people are salty it got brought back.
Yeah, Bionicle just left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
I don't know, like, I love that theme. I'd love to see it some, but I can totally see why they wouldn't do it. But I don't know, maybe it'll be, for the 100th anniversary, like 40 years later, when everyone who grew up with Bionicle is like an old adult, and they're the AFLLs are complaining about stuff. They're like, I like Bionicle though. That was my childhood.
Yeah.
I was there till I was 18.
You're assuming LEGO will even reach that point. I mean, I hope it does, but I don't know, man.
You don't think LEGO's going to last?
So. I don't think LEGO's going anywhere for a while.
Yeah, LEGO is like one of the few things that like consistently like risen above like as a toy. Like it'd be better. Like it's more likely that all other toys like basically cease from existence and only LEGO exist. I would put my bet on that just because LEGO.
I wouldn't say that exactly, but I will say that LEGO has withstood the test of time.
LEGO
tremendously
has so many ways to distribute their stuff. They're so iconic. They don't. They can continuously produce things.
They have generational goodwill, where like not only your parents but your grandparents by now have probably played with LEGO.
They make the same.
Point. If you're a kid,
they make the same little minifigure that is just really weird in terms of like articulation and proportions, but it's so iconic and so easy to produce that that people will buy
easy to
it.
Adapt.
No matter what, it's just...
There are some things I feel will change about LEGO going forward. I do think that like the same way LEGO has evolved, not the minifigure, but like the way that LEGO tackles some of his licenses, there was a point in time where they said absolutely no Star Wars. We're never going to do Star Wars. It's too violent. And then look where we are right now.
Oh, God.
Star Wars, superhero. There's every time where they said, as soon as Star Wars came out, they said, we are not going to do anything that deals directly with violence like hand-to-hand combat. So nothing like Batman, for example. And then now... we have Batman's and everything. So at some level, there's actually in one of the brand guidelines for LEGO, no FPSs. We are not going to make anything based off a first-person shooter.
Isn't it just
and they try to stay away from video games overall.
Anything war? Isn't that the like?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing I can see changing. Honestly, I know a lot of it would change depending on the market.
No, but like
obviously
war.
Different markets have different a lot of people in like the foreign market and the European market very much do not like the idea of guns or anything being given to their children. But I don't know, like if we're talking about 40 years from now, like think how far along that you would have to say that they'd never do Star Wars before they did. So never seen that possibly could change overall. I could see them being a little more lax about certain things, maybe to like Splatoon or Overwatch, FPSs like that, and then like slowly getting into more video gaming stuff. But anyhow,
if only they do Splatoon. I mean, it's a Nintendo thing, so.
Let's not talk about Nintendo.
No.
So.
Still reeling from that, X? I opened up the floodgates last time, man.
We
talked about
I like Nintendo, but I don't like it's just misunderstandings. But like, is there any other new LEGO stuff that we can talk about?
There is one new LEGO stuff, and actually it comes off what we were talking before of the Gilmore Girls diner. They finally released the new modular building.
Ooh, that's
the LEGO Creator Downtown Diner,
and
this is a new modular building for 2018.
And it is a double-edged sword because it is the most drastically different LEGO modular so far, but it also doesn't fit as well with the other modulars before. So that brings the question forward: are they going to like experiment quite a lot going forward, or do they?
I would rather they experiment.
It fits more than Ninjago City.
Ninjago wasn't really like counted as a modular. Like, I don't think we'll have anything like the Ninjago City in the modular line anytime soon. But I wouldn't say no, you know, because I like big buildings like this with lots of detail.
Personally speaking, I feel like it stands out completely compared to the other modular sets. And the modular sets have always been my favorite thing coming out of LEGO, to be honest. They're expensive, so I don't have a lot of them, but the ones I do have are really awesome, and the amount of detail that goes into them is incredible. I like they're doing something different. One big thing that I saw that was like really great, they've done LEGO as text and a lot of other things before, but something about this diner logo just looks so good.
It's like its own
beyond
font.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't even look like, sometimes with the other words with LEGO, you can kind of tell where they had to cheat it a little bit, you know, where they were like, all right, this is as close as we can get. This legitimately looks like a logo. There's no like thing I'm looking at it where I'm like, oh, they had to cheat around that, or kind of, it doesn't really look like like an E for whatever reason, but they had it. That's all they had. All the pieces they had. Looks phenomenal.
But one thing that bugs me, and I don't know if, I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. So I'm just, but they don't have the normal Lego Man face.
I'm so happy, dude.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure how I feel about that, because
beyond happy about it.
But that was like one of the things that was like iconic about the Lego modulars, and like that brought like a certain charm to them. And
all the faces don't have like the normal smiley face. That's what X is saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hated that about the modular building. If you remember the last time I talked,
I
was like,
buildings?
I did not, because they're expensive, but I would if I had the money.
I have like
I have two of them. I have the Ninjago City, and I have the Assembly Square.
Ninjago City is not modular.
Is it okay?
It
Is
works
it not?
as a modular, but it's not part of the modular.
I mean, does that really matter?
No, but I'm just.
I don't know. To be fair, LEGO fans really care about that technicality. You're right. No,
yeah,
you are right.
I technically do, but like,
modular line.
It doesn't matter. It's just me being me.
It's built exactly the same.
Yeah,
it's built to scale for the modular.
design
Structure
is exactly the
same. I'm just being mean. I have admitted it. Okay.
Like, it's got the 3 segments, just like all the other ones. It's got
it does have the hole has the pins.
It has the pins to connect all the other modular buildings.
That's what I'm
It's got the interiors. I'm pretty sure they designed it with the intention of it going along with the other modular buildings. So just because it's not in the modular line does not mean it's not a modular building.
It's not part of like the
the series.
Never mind. Just this.
I mean, I get that it's not part of the series. I get that.
I know.
I'm just saying that. I mean, I think that I think people, LEGO had the intention that people buying the Ninjago City would also be including that in their modular cities.
But I mean, like, even if they didn't, what X is saying about the minifigures still holds true in that sense. I'll be honest, man, I don't get the charm behind it. Like, I don't get the charm behind everyone having the same face. I want collectible minifigures in my really expensive set. I have to shell out for it.
Type of stuff. Like, everyone just looks the same.
Dystopian city.
Everyone is smiling.
Because, like, as you can see in all these photos, there's kind of like a story-ish going on in this building. So, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool elements tying back to the 1950s, which I love. I love the aesthetic a lot. There's the bellhop and the waitress girl and the skates.
Are the
There's
pancakes
a jukebox.
they're serving? Like, are there pancakes, or because it's just
that's a good question. I don't know exactly. I think it says pancakes. Yeah,
it looks like, because I was wondering.
Love the hairstyles. Man, the hairstyles are nice.
Yeah, it's very.
Have we gotten the one on the girl, the girl at the bottom? Have we gotten that before?
Which
with
the
curly
black-haired one?
Top? The black-haired one.
Yeah. We have had that in like an orange color, because we had a similar like basically a girl that would just go incredibly well. There was like a collectible minifigure line where there was this waitress that would work in a diner like this, kind of like 1950s style. Anywhere Studio Auto members have a link to it of the minifigure I'm thinking of. I don't remember the series or anything.
Yeah,
probably just Google like diner CMF girl or something.
One thing I'm still a little disappointed with, I'm glad they changed the faces. I just want LEGO to have more pants. More pants that we can actually... They're not just one solid color, like actual detail on the pants. Because they're doing a lot of cool stuff with the printing now. We are getting a boxer and that's really cool. He has his minifigure hands has been replaced with boxing gloves, and I've always enjoyed that aesthetic. But just need pants, man. Better pants.
Yeah, they don't. These feel very lackluster, these minifigures, because they just don't have a lot of detail on their pants, so they do look very lackluster. Compared
Thanks,
to
X.
What?
What? No.
Thanks for backing me up, buddy. Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. That sounded very sarcastic, so I don't know.
No, I wasn't being sarcastic.
But
I appreciate you.
Like, you see that minifigure there. If all the minifigures were to the same level of detail as that minifigure, it'd look pretty great, right? You know? Yeah. But,
yeah, totally.
Yeah. Also, and I do very much like the text and everything. I do feel, though, that it looks kind of small. I know there's a lot of pieces in it, but it feels kind of like it looks kind of small. It's obviously very big, but compared to other modular buildings...
I mean, it's not too expensive.
It looks kind of small. Like, if you look at the very first picture, I think it's just kind of because it looks compact. Like, in real life, it probably looks a lot bigger to me, but that's just some personal thing. It just looks like that to me. I'm not really sure why either, because it isn't actually very small.
Yeah, because it looks about the same size as the other modular buildings on that lineup. It's definitely one of the smaller ones.
It's smaller than the assembly square.
Well, yeah, I know that. If you look at the one on the other side of the street, it looks about the same size.
Yeah.
Biggest thing, though, which I've heard a lot of people talk about, is the return of dark teal. And I
love that.
Yes.
But they killed it, and I am just been depressed ever since they did it. So I'm just is it true? I am kind of in
denial.
Yeah, I guess, I'm not just... Is it actually back? Until I see, listings on Bricklink or something that says it's that exact color and not something else, because they've changed, Prpl over the years quite a lot, you know? So I can't get excited, because I don't want to, but, if it does happen to, we get teal, then that is really good, because one of the things that I think LEGO should be doing is just adding more colors, because olive green, they added, the newer colors that they've added over the years have just added to the experience with LEGO Friends, everything. It's very nice. But this is a very nice modular building, and I think that it's very cool for, a lot of Americans, because, you guys have these, sort of diners in your culture. This is just... and the design of those are really cool. It looks weirdly almost sci-fi with the smooth lines and stuff. It's just
very retro sci-fi or whatever.
Yeah. So it looks really cool. It reminds me, the inside of it looks very reminds me so much of Life is Strange or something. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw it. But that's just any cafe. So it's a really cool set. I like it quite a lot.
I also don't think it stands out that much. It does, but I don't think it's a negative. So
really, I think it stands out quite a lot compared to the other modular buildings. If you had them all lined up, this would definitely be one of the eye catchers.
Yeah, for sure. Opinion. I don't think that's a bad thing per se. I also think that the pink car makes it stand out a bit more than it would if the car wasn't there. If it was placed down the street, I don't think it would really matter much.
It's weird with the addition of the car, because the car doesn't really fit anywhere on the MoC.
Yeah, it's a separate thing. It's good for you if you already have a city built up, though. I mean, that's pretty good.
That is good. But if you have all your modular buildings lined up on your shelf, then you're just where do I put this? You know. So yeah.
No, I feel that. I
don't know. I like it.
All right, we're gonna run through one quick bit of news here before we move on. There was this contest I didn't know about until it ended, but Airbnb is running a contest to go to the Lego house in Billund and stay overnight there, which I thought was kind of a really cool idea. Basically, you were just supposed to submit what you would do if you had an infinite supply of Lego bricks, basically. And then basically people submitted their entries and whatever, and I think I believe someone from BrickFeed actually won.
Ooh!
So I didn't realize the Lego house was an actual house.
I didn't
I
either.
It was
I don't
just
think
a museum.
It is. I don't think it's supposed to be. I feel like there's a small area where you can do it, but apparently it said the bedroom is floating in a pool of bricks. A bedroom floating a pool of bricks underneath a 6-meter tall Lego waterfall. Everything around you is made out of Lego bricks. Armchairs, lamps, the alarm clock, the TV, your favorite storybook, and even the cat. Drawing on Jamie's expertise, use an endless supply of bricks to make your vision a reality. So
I love that the sheer mention of the Lego house has people in our chat screaming "Play for your life." It's my favorite meme ever.
That's pretty great. They offered to fly people out, but I think that might be restricted to the UK because it's under Airbnb, .co.uk, so it might be like only people in probably around that area. Yeah, I don't think they'd fly anyone internationally. But you know.
Yeah,
that was a cool little bit of info. Wanted to throw to you guys here.
So do we have any more Lego news today? Anything more?
We do have some new creator sets that came out. We have pictures of that, and then we'll wrap up with the MoC, the Exxtra MoC. But let's talk about some of these new creator sets. Oh, you don't
Dragon.
It's okay, dude.
Yep.
I need to be excited for this, Prpl. I was waiting for you.
They've made so many red dragons, though.
Oh, yeah. Purple Dragon
It's a dark red one, though, and it does look kind of cool, but, like, it looks better than the previous ones we've seen, but I
don't even kind of think it's a dragon, to be honest. I kind of think it's like a gargoyle with
It's literally a dragon.
That's definitely a dragon.
That, I think, yes, that is a dragon. That is that Nexo Knight eye, though. In a new color. We've only had that in light blue and orange before.
Kind of a lame
that's
dragon,
cool to have
though.
it in green.
Yeah,
I think honestly,
that's what I was saying. It looks like it just looks like a Chihuahua dragon, you know?
I think the model that stands out here is the spider. I really like the spider.
Yeah, the spider, freaky.
The spider looks like
I don't know why it's
weirdly intimidating.
The thing about the spider is that like it's under mythical creatures. Spiders aren't mythical; they exist. They very much exist.
I wish they were
I don't know
mythical.
why.
Maybe we just like to think they're mythical.
we like wishful thinking.
Maybe it's like the
last
giant
one.
Spider from whatever Harry Potter.
Oh, what are the rings?
No, Harry
Either
Potter.
one.
What are the rings, Prpl?
Harry Potter.
There are giant spiders in Harry Potter too.
Yeah, but the one of the rings is better.
It's like the exact same thing. It's just a big spider.
The last one. What is that last thing supposed to be?
It's Shrek, dude. Like a Shrek.
Get out of my swamp.
Oh, we finally got it. The Lego ideas.
Yeah, dude.
They just messed up the color.
Yeah.
This set has a lot of layers.
Oh, this is.
All right.
I really like the texture on the head, though. I really have to say that.
Texture in the head's pretty cool. I mean, overall, this is a really cool color scheme to have.
Yeah, I do like the color scheme a lot.
The colors like stand out, and they don't feel like a normal creator set. I feel like I haven't seen this amount of red used before, and it's a darker red too. It's not like the bright red you normally see. I feel maybe that's just the lighting, but it's like a maroon, dark red.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rocket Rally Car. Anybody? What do you guys think?
Dude,
I really
cars.
like.
There's so many words that like come right away to me when watching this car, but like I'm trying to think of a word.
Gosh diddly darn, it's another car.
No, but like it's a very
It looks
cool
like something
car.
out of Rocket League or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it
kinda
has
does.
like a very cool aesthetic to it. It's not just a normal car.
Yeah,
It's very eye-catching. It's kind of like, oh, look at that. It's really stylish, you know? It's got like a bunch of engines and stuff on it, you know? It's really
Yeah,
cool.
I feel that.
I like it very much.
I think it's okay. I hate those rims.
Have we talked about... No, sorry, go on.
I'm done.
The rims?
Yeah.
All right, the rims I also hate too. I don't know. They go well. Technically, like, by all rights, they should work because they go with the color scheme, but they just don't.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I like it. It's
I
a
don't
bit
like
bright, though. But
That's
like I feel
probably
like
it,
that's a running theme with this little car, so...
Yeah. The Sunshine Surfer Van.
I like this one.
I like the guy on the far left just because he looks like he has not a care in the world.
It's Happy Cool.
Yeah.
If only I was that guy. I'll give anything to be that guy right now. I really like the set.
Yeah, I think this one's really
I feel
good.
like it's all
I like the
real
color
creative.
scheme. I like the beach theme. I think the van actually looks pretty nice, but I also like the alternate vehicles that they give you too. That little buggy looks really good, and also that like building like outpost thing, lifeguard station looks pretty cool.
There's no pictures of it from this from right here.
Yeah,
but,
I know. That's kind of weird.
But you can actually take out if you look at the pic, on the side of the car, there's these hinge pieces. You can actually open the entire side of it and then takes a table out. You know those campings where
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of like
super
that,
cool.
Which is really cool. And I'm just why is there pictures of that? We really should.
I love the idea of a little camper like this. It reminds me of Animal Crossing, which I've been playing, where you have your camper and you can customize it and stuff. What?
You haven't played
you were keeping track.
Well, it says it on the thing.
Someone's stalking me.
No, the game says it when
every morning I check to see if John's opened the game. Every morning I'm disappointed.
No.
I actually, to be fair, I had the game for about a month beforehand. I played it a couple bit, and then Prpl was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm level 20,
29 now."
I the 20. Okay, fine, rub it in. I was level 5. I've been playing the game for a month, and she had in one day she had made it to level 20 or something. It was ridiculous. But then I started playing again just so I could beat her. And then I stopped.
So
anyhow, back to Lego. Winter Vacation.
Winter.
Set number 31080. Winter Vacation is
that
the latest set by the creator.
Look at that owl.
Look how adorable.
That's an adorable owl. I like owls.
He's
I saw there was someone who made an owl version somewhere of every person from the Lego Batman movie, which I thought was quite cool. Don't have an image for it right now, but I feel like you can do a lot of stuff with that little owl design.
You just reminded me of who they should have had in the collectible minifigure, and that is Talon of the Court of Owls. Gosh dang it, they should have included someone from the Court of Owls so we could have an owl face on the minifigure. Anyhow, go back to what you're saying, X. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay, man. That
means nothing to anybody.
I just really like that owl, and I really like the subtle detailing with using the teeth around the bottom there to make it sort of snowy and iced up. It looks kind of cool. It's a very nice set. I really like it when Lego makes something very small feel like a whole lot, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Where they're
totally.
You feel like you're getting quite a lot. If I gave this to someone, they'd be like, "Oh, I got a nice snow hut." You get a lot, you got an owl.
I will say this about all the sets that we've been looking here. I feel like creator is always the line that I kind of look over, just because I feel like I've seen everything that creator has to offer before. It's oh, it's another car, it's a truck, it's a boat, it's anything, and all these look really distinct and stuff that I feel like I haven't seen before. Even if there have been similar sets released, I don't look at this and I'm like, oh, I remember. It just looks like another creator set you buy. They all looked very distinct, and they all have a theme going with them. The beach theme, or the snowy theme, or the really weird monsters. And I feel like all the other Lego creator sets do have a theme, but this really sells it. I don't know what it is about these ones.
I really like creator sets just in general, just because they always have that. They look very Lego. They did what a thing with Chima did, is that everything is just very brick built, so that there's always if so many licensed set or anything, and there's so many distinctive molds to everything that you're just not a fan of, there's still a creator out there that will still continuously put out cool sets like this that are distinctive, and you get lots of models in one. It's crazy good. It's crazy nice. I like it quite a lot.
Everything you want.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is anyone else anything to say?
Nope.
This set's a little small and kind of boring, but that's about all I have.
I like the owl, that's about it. I can make that with pieces I already have, so I don't even need to get the set.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys about a rumor that has been going around for Lego Powerpuff Girls. There's some set descriptions kind of released, and those set descriptions have been kind of, they have varying degrees of reliability. However, from some stuff we've been hearing, it does seem to be pretty substantial that they are trying to do a Powerpuff Girls Lego theme, and they are in fact making a new TV show for them. So it does make sense that they're trying to work that both in. What do you guys think of that license, basically?
I'm okay with the idea of Lego Powerpuff Girls. I just don't know how they really look. Well, actually, I do know how they look, and they're very bobbleheady, which I guess is accurate.
Yeah,
but it's
will they have that for the actual Lego series as well? Because that was for Lego Dimensions. We don't know if they're actually going to have those bobbleheads.
That's true. That's
it's
true.
hard to imagine them doing it any other way, to be honest.
It's a very distinct style Powerpuff Girls had. But they did do Teen Titans Go style for, I think, who was it? Was it Starfire and Raven, or Raven and Beast Boy?
Raven and Beast Boy.
It was Raven, Beast Boy, and Starfire, I know.
And Starfire, yeah, all three of them. No, that makes sense. But like, there's been like the actual Starfire and Beast Boy released in like a Lego Superheroes line, and it didn't look anything like that. So the dimensions did draw from a particular cartoon. The difference is we've only ever seen the Powerpuff Girls in this style.
Yeah, like there's this current. I think there's a reboot going on right now, right? So surely they borrowed from that.
Heard it wasn't very good, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I heard so too. DuckTales been the only reboot that's been like, oh, that's better.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, they might do it differently. I don't see why they would. So.
Hey.
Yeah, they already got the molds, so...
It's neat. I stopped being a fan of Powerpuff Girls after I grew up past the age of 8, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I like Powerpuff Girls. It's cool. Neat idea. Not for me, though.
Do you want the extra MoC?
That makes sense. I would have loved the extra MoC, dude.
It's a pretty neat episode this time around, because I was very hesitant to not show this. This is actually from, like... This has, like, been the extra MoC for quite a while, for when, like... I haven't found one before, so that's why I'm using this one. And usually I'll show a creation. Right. This is actually custom minifigures, and it's custom minifigures from a video game, which I'm pretty sure everyone in here is familiar with. And I was really hesitant about showing this because, A, it's custom minifigures. 2, it's something that's been done to death. But this is actually just so neatly done in terms of customs.
It's Call of Duty.
And and no one has ever seen it. It has very little following in terms of like some of the but it's Overwatch. He's made Overwatch. It's cool. Just look at it.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Just look at it.
I'm really excited and also a little dismayed because I wanted to make our own. Oh man.
Yeah, these are actually pretty decent. For a second I was like, man, Junkrat's hair looks very messy, but then I remember it's like it's supposed to be.
Is it the same tracer that was being sold at
just handmade? It's crazy.
Or is this a different tracer?
I think it's different.
Yeah,
I think it's a different tracer.
It looks a little different. It looks better.
I'm not sure if like these are like because some of these look very printed, and then some of them look very much like stickers.
That Junkrat's crazy,
and then some of them just look painted. So I'm just like, what does this guy do?
Probably a combination out of all of them. I've long since wanted to do.
Oh, Diva's adorable.
Diva's is really good. I actually really like Reapers and Genji's. I feel like Genji's looks so
helmet,
accurate. Wow. And then also look at the printing on or whatever he's doing with Hanzo's arm. Like, good grief.
Man.
That detail is incredible.
Yeah, the entire bow for Hanzo is completely just handmade. And I'm just like, how do you do that?
Man.
You know, it looks so...
I wanted to do, like, some Overwatch custom minifigures, and now I feel super inadequate about it. So, probably not going to happen.
These are great. I really like these.
And he also... he also makes some stuff from Marvel as well, which I think you guys are... fan of Marvel?
We're a little fans.
You guys like Marvel? You
know? Oh, not this Marvel. I'm talking about actual Marvel. You know, like in the movies Marvel.
There is Lego Spider-Man up there, man.
Cool. Well, which the ones you linked is just Defenders. But
no,
let me look at all of them.
If you go up.
These are really good Defenders ones, though. I like the scarf from Jessica. Nice touch.
The Daredevil is really good.
Daredevil is phenomenal.
Like that, the picture that you linked, X, doesn't really do it justice. Like some of the other pictures he has, like that Daredevil.
Yeah,
nice.
You should very much like go through.
Wow. Here's a recreation of the poster. Yeah, that's cool.
Because like a lot of these, if for some reason a lot of these pictures where there's like groups are very blurry, but like when you look at the individual photos for some of these minifigures, you can like appreciate every little bit of detail he has. For example, on this one. He has legitimately painted Genji's sword, for example, and what this guy must have the steadiest hands ever.
I know. I'm looking at this sword and how much detail's into it. That's crazy. And some of the custom stuff. How does he make the Genji's helmet or like Diva's
know. I genuinely do not know if he like uses like epoxy or he like makes like he injects ABS and like makes his own molds or something. I don't know what he does, but
you're speaking words, buddy. They sound like English, but
there's different types of plastic.
I don't know any of that stuff.
I don't know. Basically, I asked him one question at some point where he got the bow, and he just told me he made it himself, and I'm just like, whoa, and I just didn't think of it to actually ask him how he made it.
Look at this rip tire. Good grief, this rip tire in a Junkrat's insane.
Yeah, I'm wondering how stable some of these are. That's what I wonder. But I really like that because when people customize to this level in LEGO, it usually ends up looking very messy, and he has actually managed to make some of these actually look very, very clean and good looking.
They look clean. They don't look overdone. There's some things I hate about the customs is that they get so into themselves. They're kind of just trying to show off too much, and it ends up looking like a cluttered mess because they didn't stop when they realized they should have stopped.
Yeah, the golden rule for LEGO customization for me is that a person should look at it and their first instinct should be that it's made by LEGO themselves. If that makes any sense. It needs to look LEGO. Yeah. For example, this LEGO Diva that he made, this looks pretty much exactly like if LEGO made Diva.
Yeah, 100%.
You just look at that and you're just like, oh, that's LEGO Diva.
Look at this Valkyrie for a second.
Yeah, I was just looking at his Ragnarok stuff. It looks really good.
The Ragnarok stuff looks insane.
Aren't they touched up just official minifigures though?
I don't know. Have we had that Odin before?
The what?
The Odin.
Odin. I don't actually know.
Because I don't recognize it. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I don't recognize Odin. I didn't actually. I looked at Thor and Loki, and I looked at Valkyrie. I know we had Valkyrie, but no, not Odin. I really wonder.
Odin looks very nice.
Does he like that? That must be a decal, but it looks printed. So does he print his own stuff, or is this from somewhere else? Or
I'm not sure how he's doing it, but it looks good enough to be real.
It looks really good.
Yeah. There's very little in his descriptions here. He just kind of posts, and it's out there, and it's cool. But I just
look at what he's doing with Star-Lord's helmet in this one. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. The holographic type.
The holographic thing. I don't know the direct thing for it, but that's so awesome.
I know what I think. I'm just thinking of the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or something when he does that. I think it does in 1 as well. But yeah, it looks really good, and throughout his entire stream, he has a lot of cool characters done. He has
I'm gonna link two photos here before we go anywhere, and that is Team Iron Man and
for the record, this guy's name is Biao Custom. I don't think we mentioned the name. So
we always do that in
That's
the
an
Biao Custom.
Oh, I think I didn't do it in the intro.
B-L-A-O.
I think I just kind of lost myself. It's Biao.
Oh, okay.
Biao? Not sure.
Biao?
Yeah, you're right. That is an I. That's a really terrible font. You can barely see the space between the dot.
Oh yeah, blind flicker.
Stupid flicker, man. Anyway, yeah, Biao Custom.
Let's see, LEGO Team
And right as I said, I'm gonna. As we were looking at this, I'm gonna post this picture of the X-Men, which is legit. Look at all these X-Men.
That's cool.
Oh, they
makes
look
me
very
wish we could actually see them in the universe.
They are very movie.
Yeah, with the
black
these are
100% movie. Mm-hmm.
I really wish LEGO made these because if they made multiple Marvel sets with the different mutants, and they all had suits like this, then I would want to buy all the sets to get them all as a group because they would just look so great next to each other like this.
Oh, I'm just so annoyed that because stupid Fox has the rights to Fantastic Four, we've never seen the Fantastic Four set. There's never been a Fantastic Four LEGO set, and there would be if they got the rights back and they put it into the Marvel slate. They would totally do a Fantastic Four set. I've been wanting that for ages. They're my favorite comic series, my favorite group of superheroes is Fantastic Four, and they've never been officially been done in LEGO. Even X-Men, honestly, they get the shaft a lot, even though they're hugely popular characters. They just aren't in the movie lineup, And I don't think Fox has the same deal with LEGO that Disney does. Also
need to mention that, our live studio audience member pointed out, Magic Ninja, is that Professor X chair is actually really cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool chair. I don't think his legs are connected to his body.
Is it not? No, it isn't actually. Oh, man. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's canon.
Well, I mean, like, let's be real. It's not like he was going to be using them anyway.
Yeah, that is true. But it does look really nice, though. But, like, it kind of threw me away a little now.
Well, I mean, it's always weird because Professor X, if you remember, in the end of X3, he transfers from his own body to his identical twin who's been in a coma for, like, so many years body. But then he's still in a wheelchair.
He what?
What? No.
In what
It's
movie?
a long time since I watched that movie.
In X3? Okay. So in X-Men 3,
X-Men
remember?
Last Stand?
In X-Men 3, Phoenix kills Professor X, right?
Yeah.
At the end credits.
Yeah.
For a 10-year-old movie.
Yeah, but
At the
still,
end of the movie,
there's no
after
warning,
the end
man.
credits, Professor X, he has a moment before he's talking about his twin brother, his identical twin brother who's been in a coma his entire life. And then, as soon as Professor X dies, at the very end, the twin wakes up and he grabs the girl's hand and goes, Moira. And it's Professor X, because he transferred, as soon as he died, he transferred his consciousness to his identical twin's body. And then I believe he's walking at the end of X-Men.
I have literally never seen this scene before.
Have you never seen this?
I've seen X3 like
this?
John, is this after the credits, or is this in the
I'm
actual
watching
movie?
the scene right now. I have never seen this scene before. I've seen this movie so many times.
Are you
and
watching
never
it on
seen
YouTube?
it. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
What, really?
I've never seen this before. I didn't know this was even a thing.
I can't believe
that's how it ends.
That X-Men, like, those movies are, like, even worse than I ever thought them to be. Like,
No, dude, it's so contrived. And then, okay, I believe at the end, if you look at the end credit scenes for the Wolverine, Professor X comes to him and he's walking. And so is Magneto. And they're like, hey, we need you, Logan. And Wolverine's like, what? And it cuts to Days of Future Past where he's in the wheelchair again. So something always happens to his legs. His legs are not destined to be around,
Maybe
basically.
he's just faking it,
but like,
to throw off suspicion or something.
I had no idea that this movie even had a post-credit scene. This is blowing my mind.
I thought Marvel invented post-credits.
Yeah, I did too.
XD.
Well, it's funny because I was reading a thing for Iron Man where a lot of people said we stayed at the end of the credits to see Nick Fury because of X-Men. And we thought, oh, maybe they're going to do it in this movie too, even though it's at the same studio. And lo and behold, they did. But I think when Marvel did it, they didn't do it because of X-Men. They did it separately. I think like it was already in development for a long while. But there you go, man. That's identical twin. That's what happens to Professor X. In the old timeline.
This movie is so much worse than I thought it was.
Yeah, this
it's so bad.
That is so stupid.
It's so
That's
bad.
Like having a memory made worse by.
Yeah, like I already hated the movie enough. You made me hate it even more.
X3 is so bad. I watched it 3 years ago or something, like ridiculous. Recently, and I was like, so garbage.
He has it.
But there you go.
An unconscious
that is an excellent point,
twin brother.
And that is an amazing movie.
Identical twin brother that just happens to look exactly like him. And when he dies, his mind somehow gets transferred from his own body into his identical twin's body for some reason.
What the heck? There's no
explanation to it.
All right, well, cool.
Anyhow, that's your little bit of Marvel treasure for today.
Thanks to Biao Customs. Check him out on Flickr. Makes cool custom minifigures and initiates conversations about mutants.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Very great work. Let's not detract from how terrible X3 is and how good these minifigures are.
Yes.
Indeed.
Okay. All right, well, I think that's just about it for the BrickFeed Podcast this week. As always, if you like what we do, you can go to our YouTube channel and click that little notifications bar to be alerted whenever we do a new video. You can go to our message boards at board.ttvchannel.com, and you can also donate to our Patreon to be part of our live studio audience at patreon.com/TTV channel. We will see you guys next week. I'm John.
I'm Bar.
I'm Prpl.
I'm XX Rupert.
And that's all for this week. Goodbye.
Later, everybody.